Hi everyone, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, Group Policy MVP and founder of PolicyPak Software. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize the Windows Server 2012 and Windows 8 ADMX files. Okay, so basically, if you found this video, you likely got my email or read my blog posting about the downloadable ADMX files that Microsoft made available. And this is great. So let's set the stage. It doesn't matter if you don't have any Windows 8 client machines at all, but these are the latest, greatest definition files. So let me say that again. Because Microsoft says that these are the latest and greatest definition files, you should probably be using them. When you do this, you'll see that there are some updates. Some of the older policy settings have different names, and there is some new stuff for us to enjoy in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm talking about. So in this example here, I happen to be using my domain controller as my management station, and also over here I have another guy logged in, and this is his management station. We're just talking about us, the admins here, to deal with this. So let's go ahead and create a new group policy object, and we'll call this test123. It doesn't really matter what it is or what it's doing right now. And let's go ahead and click Edit here. I want to show you a fun little example. So if you can see that there's policies and preferences, and I've got the PolicyPak stuff hooked in here, as you might imagine. So I've got policies under the computer side, under admin templates, under system. I want to show you something. This is before we get started. Okay, this is maybe what your system looks like right now. There's a setting that I'm actually quite fond of called verbose versus normal status messages. And when I click it, and let me click enabled here, you'll see that it's got this name verbose versus normal status messages. And I'll click OK here. And now that that's set enabled, let's go ahead and close this out, and let's be sure we can see it. We'll click on test123 here, and we'll click on the settings report, and we should see that we note two things. One, we see that the definitions are retrieved from the local machine, my own machine, the machine that I'm on, and also the policy setting is called verbose versus normal status messages. If we go over to our Win7 computer here, a totally different management station, and we look at that exact same group policy object, here it is, test123, we will also see that it's called the same, verbose versus normal status messages, and it's also retrieved from the local machine. Okay, great. Now, so this means that each admin individually is going through and using these ADMX files locally from their own machine. What we're going to do is we're going to switch gears and use the central store, and while we're at it, we're going to use the Windows 8 / Server 2012 ADMX files. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the downloadable from Microsoft here. You can see that it was released on 3/14 in 2013. Let's go ahead and double click this guy here. And it's going to want to install to kind of a weird place. And I don't really love the weird place that it puts it. So I'm going to install it into just C:\test1 or something like that. So let's click next here. Click agree. And here we go. So again, it's going to put it in a weird place. We don't want to have to find this weird place. So I'm going to put it in C:\test1, and just me is fine here. We'll click next and click next again. And this takes just a moment to go ahead and install, except it's not really installing it. It's actually just unpacking it. They could have shipped these as just a zip file, and that would have probably been just okay too. But it's not. It's an MSI. So once it's fully unpacked, we can then do something useful with it. Okay, and we're done. So let's take a look at what it did. Let's go to C:\test1, and it created the folder called Policy Definitions. And you can see that there's the language-specific files and the language neutral files rather, and the language specific files here for each of the languages. Now, if you wanted to, you could literally just take this lock, stock, and barrel and put it into the C Windows sysvol. Under sysvol again, the domain name, policies, and here's where all the GPOs live. Plus, actually, we've got a PolicyPak directory because PolicyPak has its own central store. So if you want to, you could simply take the ADMX files that Microsoft now ships, the policy definitions, and just put them right here side by side with the other group policy objects in the PolicyPak central store. We'll go ahead and click copy here. And that's it. It's just that simple. And now what you've done is you've taken the definitions that Microsoft's provided, put them on the domain controller. It's replicating to all of your domain controllers. So now whenever any of us, the admins, use any management station that we're on, we're always going to see the latest, greatest definitions. So they're all in there, including all the languages that Microsoft supports. If I didn't want to, I think BG is Bulgarian or Czechoslovakian and Danish or whatever. If I don't want to support these, I can delete these languages if I don't have any administrators that speak those languages. So just to prove a point here, if I go back in the exact same group policy object, you can see just moments ago it was called verbose versus normal status messages, and you saw that it was retrieved from the local machine. Let's refresh this report, and now let's see what it shows, because this is kind of interesting. So now it shows policy definitions are retrieved from the central store. Excellent. And hey, wait, it's gone through a name change. So you can see that the name of this policy setting has been renamed underneath the hood to display highly detailed status messages. And if we right click in it and click edit here and dive down back under policies, admin template system, if we look at it again here, okay, you can see display highly detailed status messages is now, well, it's still enabled. I didn't have to touch the group policy object or update it in any way. You do not need to retouch or re-edit them in any possible way. It just magically all takes effect just like this. So let's, just for fun, go over to our target Windows 7 machine here, and let's take a look at test 1, 2, 3 here again. Whoops. Let's go back here. Take a look. Test 1, 2, 3. And as soon as I look at the settings report here, boom, retrieved from the central store, and it's got the new name. So every administrator who's now inside the group policy management console is now using the centralized store and ready to rock. Okay, I have a lot more information on the central store, troubleshooting tips, things to look out for, trips and traps, and all sorts of stuff in my live and online training class. So if you're looking to get smarter in group policy, and this is a great first thing that you can do, but if you're looking to get a lot smarter, please consider coming to my next group policy training class, or if you can't travel, then that's why we have the online university. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you in real life or in one of my webinars at PolicyPack real soon. Thanks so much. Take care.